We're here. Hey guys, how are you doing? Welcome to.
I wasn't ready.
Why'd you stop me? Don't never stop me.
Okay.
Can we always edit stuff?
Okay. I'm happy we're recording so you can see.
Just be natural. Just be natural.
Okay. I'm happy we're recording so
One,
you can
two,
see.
three.
Hi.
I was only 22 years old when I got married.
And I was 20.
We were so young.
Look at us. We were babies.
We had our share of ups and downs.
Trials and tribulations.
Hey, we had some good times.
And some okay times.
Both God's help.
We made it through. We were young, engaged, and saved.
My name is Ishmael Trainer.
And my name's Alana Trainer.
We've been married for how long, babe?
For, 2005, 4...
2003 we were married.
Nuh-uh.
2004
Yeah,
we were
4.
married. So this is year number 16.
Yeah, I had to count my fingers.
Year 16 we've been married. So welcome to the Yes Podcast, YES.
Yes.
Young, engaged, and saved. So we're going to talk about some topics to try to help young people, especially younger couples, be married or not get married, but help young couples stay together.
Okay. So, yes, when we got married, I was 19.
Yes.
And you were?
No, you wasn't 19.
Oh, I was 20. I'm
you
sorry.
made me look all bad.
Right
No.
out of high school, though.
The
I
intro
just
video
turned
tells our ages.
20. But you wouldn't talk about it again.
No. He was not right out of high school. It was.
I graduated first. And then we got married. I graduated in June. No, I graduated close to May. And then my birthday came. And then that's when they proposed to me on my birthday. Okay. And then we got married in...
a year later.
July.
We got married the following year.
So I was 19.
No, you were 20.
I know. When I graduated, I wasn't 20 when I graduated.
I know.
Oh, because another year went by.
Correct.
We're just figuring these things out, you guys.
I was 22. So, but there's a lot of struggles with young couples. But anyways, what I want to talk about is the first video, or talk about the 3 things you need in a marriage. The things I think, the first 3 things, foundation to any marriage, I would say usually 3 things. Mm-hmm. And with these 3 things, I would say it'd be almost impossible, very hard to get divorced, or very hard to fail with these 3 things.
Okay.
The Lord.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Very
communication.
Important. Communication.
And intimacy.
All right.
And I think usually when there's a separation or there's something that happens, mm-hmm. it's usually one of those 3 things I think fails. Or there's a lack in one of those 3 areas.
Right.
What do you think?
I agree. I mean, because you're saying like if you're lacking God mm-hmm. in your marriage, that's definitely would cause a separation, because you could be selfish. Like when you're lacking God, you're pretty much being selfish and you're like kind of in yourself, if that makes sense. So that's very important. So yeah, I agree with every the 1, 2, 3 choice.
And I think that also, like, there could be a situation where you feel like if you can't make it or something, like it's hard to like to come by.
Right.
I think having the Lord in your life, especially if you 2 people believe, mm-hmm. that can carry you through even when it seems dark, when bills might not be paid.
Right.
Or you might go through a struggle mm-hmm. or sickness, versus when people don't have the Lord, it's easy to start playing the blame game.
Real quick.
But
with God or without God.
True. Even with the Lord, that's easy to do that. So it's one of those things that I think, but
the blame game, really.
Marriage is hard without the Lord. I can't imagine people who don't have the Lord going through marriage. It is hard.
That's why there's a lot of divorces out there. And that's why we're doing this too, because we really feel like, being married as long as we have been, and just the things, the up and downs we've been through.
Yeah.
I mean, they were all worth it. Like some things, I'm like, sometimes we went through situations where we're like, what in the world is really going on? But when we got through those situations, we got here.
Situations.
So.
But no,
really.
Hold on a second. Train of thought messed me up. So, yes, the
So
Lord.
back to
having the Lord.
situations.
So I'm also going to say, too, you said the reason why we're having this podcast because of divorces, but also because we were young when we got married.
Right.
So when I see people, and I'm like, you don't realize how young you are until you're old. If that makes sense. I didn't realize how young we were until I got older. Like, man, we were kids.
But you have to really think about this too. We were young, and then we had kids right away. Like on top of that, we have 3 kids, and they're all like they're 2 years, 1 year apart. So we have 2 girls and a boy.
But the Lord really took us through a whirlwind because we had kids right away.
Right.
We bought a house right away. So we bought our first house. I was probably like 23, I think. We bought a house right away. We purchased a house.
We did.
And then we moved across the country.
Oh man,
With
we
no
have so
family.
much to do. Like we
With
have
no
so
family.
much.
So all that said, you need the Lord.
Right.
To go through all that.
Right.
The second thing is communication. I think that if people don't communicate with each other, or lack of communication, or sometimes you can feel some type of way if you just hold that in, it's not going to work. What do you think?
It's easy to hold it in though. Like sometimes when you get mad, it's so easy. But I agree. Communication is very important. Just like communication with God. Like I put God in it again because I always tell my kids like you have to have a relationship with God. And how you have a relationship with God is by talking to Him. And the same thing is having a relationship with a man or woman. So you definitely need communication. So. And if we never talk to each other, what would happen? I can't even imagine.
The thing about communication is really what I'm really want to really hone in is being able to communicate effectively, because even if you feel some type of way, you sometimes is not doing anyone good by just saying, well, I'll get over it, or it will get better. We're not talking about arguing or debating, just talk about communication. Like, you know what? I feel this way. Sometimes that's necessary.
Right.
Even if something going on at work in your personal life.
Right.
I feel this way. You have to be able to be honest with each other, because without that, there could be things that could linger for years and years and years. And all of a sudden, it'll just blow up because we haven't talked about it.
And then
we haven't addressed it.
Tied on to that is also listening. So like even right now, I was saying something and you kind of moved on to next, like something a little bit different just regarding the communication. But then when I started listening, it did tie into what I was saying. So listening is very important, because sometimes as people, and I wanted to say women, men are the same way too, but we just jump to conclusions. Because we don't listen.
Don't embarrass me on this podcast. But yes, listening is important. But listening is a part of communication. Two-way communication.
That's
so yeah, you're right.
That's within
right.
one. It's God first, communication / listening.
That's very important because
it's hard sometimes.
Listening is hard.
It's hard, but then when you listen, it's like you understand. Like we had a situation just recently. Like we had a big argument with I forgot what it was already. You see how God just said it was something that was really deep, but it was like when we literally started listening to each other. I can't even remember what it was about. Do you remember now?
No, but when I hear about it, it's going to be I don't know.
But then when we so back to the situation, like when we went through the situation where we weren't really listening to each other. Like he was saying something. It was like on the way to church. We're doing something for church. Remember that we're in the car arguing. Yeah. But and so we when we finally listened, like we got to the destination where we're going when we're arguing, and then I had to think about what we said, what was said. So then when I did, I really looked at you when you were doing what you were doing in church, and I was up there singing. I realized how much I understood what you're saying. What?
I remember the situation.
Oh.
I'm trying to
you
think
do
about
remember?
It.
Tell me, because I'm giving them bits and pieces. I'm
now
terrible with telling stories, but.
I want to talk about it.
I want to talk about it. This is very important. It's an example.
Okay. So,
Go ahead, baby.
I like making breakfast for my wife in the morning.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Something totally simple.
Yeah.
And
I
then
remember.
I'm good at cooking. I'm not good at cooking and cleaning. So Alana afterwards was like, you know what? I forgot how you put it. How'd you put it?
So I said, "Hey, this is when like in between when I was working. So I was trying to tell him like, hey, I have to talk to you after work. And I get off like within a half an hour at this time. I said I have to talk
So I'm
to
thinking I'm in trouble. The way she put it right there,
No,
I'm thinking I'm in
okay.
trouble. Go ahead.
So then I said, and he was like, "What's up? No, just tell me now." And I'm like, "Well, no, I can't tell you real quick because it's something it's important to me. It's something I just have to tell you."
So it's like she's building it up, and I'm getting
So then finally, because he kept on asking, and then I said, "So you cook for me today. So you do so much. I really appreciate it." I said, "But you didn't clean up after yourself. So could you please?" Clean up the little messes. You don't have to do the dishes. Just at least put the dirty dishes in the sink, wipe off the counters, put the things away. And then you come at me in the car. It was funny because when I said it, he was just like, he went off. And all I heard was, well, I put the eggshells away. I put this away. He was telling me everything he did do. And it was like, I didn't say you didn't do anything, but there were some things that were left out. And I just wanted a little bit of help, I just want him to clean up after himself. Is that wrong? But anyways, go ahead.
So, my point was, if anyone cooks me breakfast, and there's something left out, I'll be so grateful. I would just do it. But we're past it.
But no, but that's true. And I was thinking I was grateful in a different way. So, long story short, when we talked about it in the car, I finally listened to him. I understood him of where he was coming from. Pretty much, I told him at the end of our conversation, and I was crying too because I told him how much I just really appreciate him.
So I think that...
But I wasn't done. But it's okay. But hold on one moment. So then... it's okay. See? You see how that works? So then I told him, just a long story short, I said, hey, I got you. Everything you do for me, I will definitely, I won't have any issues anymore since I got it off my chest. I was happy that I was able to get off my chest. You heard me. You listened to me. You understood. Now I just moved on from it. So if he did cook a big breakfast for me and didn't clean up everything, I would be okay with it because now he heard me. Does that make sense? You heard me. Now you have it in your mind. Okay, she does feel this way. Let me try this. Let me do this. And if you don't do it, I told him it's okay. I got you. I'm gonna clean it up and I'm not gonna be mad about it because now I understand you. You understand me. Now, because I thought he was just leaving out for me just because he knew I was going to clean it. But no, he wasn't doing it that way. So, for that reason. So
yeah, sometimes I just forget. But I think that me knowing you and you knowing me, Alana is a very clean person.
Yeah.
So I know that when she sees clutter, and I'm not going to be able to change that because
right.
God doesn't want to change that because God gave her to me because He know what I needed.
Right.
So I think, and on the flip side, I'm not the most cleanest person, and God have to work with me. No matter what she says, is gonna. But if we don't talk about these things, it can fester. But I was going back to the first point about why you have to have the Lord, because the enemy, it could have been whatever, but that little incident caused a larger conversation that we talked about being appreciative of each other and helping each other out.
Right.
So that was the root. The root was not being appreciative and not helping out.
Right.
You felt you needed help. I felt like I needed to be appreciated.
Right.
And that thing, and that little conversation caused a whole big
boom,
thing.
It just came.
We're going to church mad. I'm looking in the car. We're not talking.
Because what we do in church, we're really busy in church. We are busy workers in church. So listen to the last.
Intimacy.
Okay.
So, not going to where a lot of you guys are thinking, but intimacy could be anything.
Right.
It could be a date night. It could be walks in the park. Could be the picnic. Even like holding hands. Like I remember when kids were young, they used to do like stuff like if you go and study, you might wear the same outfit as like your girlfriend or something like that, or something real simple.
Oh, never.
But I'm saying like
okay. Exactly.
But something showing your intimate, something showing that I love you. Or like I remember my grandparents, they would go out on dates every Friday. You know,
Oh, I didn't know that.
and just like even something little like that, but not having that alone time, not having that could be very detrimental to your marriage. And the thing about it is, I think you need all three. I think all three are really important. I think that if you don't have one of those three, your marriage can go downhill, I think.
I think so too. I think you said intimacy. I'm sorry.
Yeah, intimacy. I think it could be what you guys are thinking about,
Sexual,
adult relationships.
being
It
married,
it could be that too, but I don't want people to think that's all it is, because it could also be like going on dates and writing love letters to each other, or even if the reason why I said it's just not the bedroom stuff, because there's going to be a certain age where you might not be able to do that as much as you were when you were younger, but you still have to show intimacy, you still have to show the person that I love you, and you belong to me.
And doesn't always have to be spending money. You use what you have. So sometimes, a lot of times we will, our intimacy would be sometimes just sitting down at the table talking, sometimes going outside, sitting outside on a table talking, taking a walk, getting away. We're in Arizona, so we will go to the mountains. We'll drive down to the mountains and walk in the mountains. It's very, very important, because you have that one-on-one. Sometimes you need to like I say woosah, but you need to you have a long day. Sometimes you just need to talk, because we're busy people. And then when we're done with our day, sometimes we don't even talk to each other. We're so tired. We do what we want to do. I'll go out to the TV. You go to your office and do whatever. So it's very important to take that time.
I think there was a time when we were having a rough patch, and all we needed was a little date.
That was it.
I think
Something small.
That's all we needed. Something to get away.
We just went down to that place where they built the little park with the.
I think that was it. Or sometimes we might go to a little restaurant and.
Just little things.
That's coming in the next video. We're gonna show you how to do date night on the cheap if you have to. We're gonna show you how to do that right.
He's the one.
We'll give you some tips. Yeah, man. That's coming soon. Date night on the
But it's okay. It's okay though, because we wouldn't be where we were.
But I'm gonna tell you how you don't need to have to spend hundreds of dollars to do date night. You can do it, but really, that's another time. But I hope we said something that will bless you. Do you have anything else before we?
No, I think we covered what we wanted to cover today.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for joining the Yes Podcast.
Yes.
You're young, engaged, and saved. God bless you. Until next time. Bye.
Bye.